Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the founder and lead investigator with Deep Woods Paranormal. My wife and I, along with others, investigate everything paranormal in nature. Every week, we will discuss everything from creepy haunted locations to ghosts to Bigfoot, UFOs, Dogman, and other cryptid creatures, and explore all things paranormal in nature. Hey guys. So I get asked all kinds of questions. Are we going to find Bigfoot in 2024? I got a lot of other questions too, and I'll go into those in a second. But yes, we are going to be exploring Texas again this year, and we will be looking for Bigfoot. Our primary focus now is turning to Bigfoot. Let me share my screen with you real quick, and I can show you the happy glamper. All right. So you can see our truck. You can't see the new stickers we have on here that says Bigfoot Research Team, but you can see our trailer. We have a 30-foot Springdale, which is now going to be our home base. When we go out into the woods, we'll probably have this set up at a campsite somewhere or somewhere off grid, and essentially be parked there. And we're going to try and put cameras all around this thing, facing out in every different direction. And we'll be in the middle of Bigfoot territory, and we'll cover that in just a second. We'll talk about Bigfoot territory that we're looking to cover this year. There's a lot of it. It's just like probably millions of acres that we want to cover, but we have specific spots that we want to look into, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So a lot of people ask me questions, a lot of people ask me, have you found Bigfoot? And the question is a good question. It's both a yes and no answer. Yes, I've had multiple sightings, and I have lots of friends that have had multiple sightings. We've all been lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, I think. We've also done a lot of research. We followed up on a lot of different reports, and then we've had our own sightings, and then we've looked up the data that is online for credible reports, and we follow that data and pin those on a map, which I've shown you guys multiple times. But we have so many new followers and so many new subscribers to both the audio podcast, the video podcast, to our YouTube channel and our Rumble channel, that I just need to go kind of back into this, because we're constantly meeting new people. Our Rumble page is growing astronomically. So thank you if you're following us over on Rumble. If you're over on YouTube and you're just starting to watch this, please like and subscribe. We do more than just podcasts. We are paranormal researchers. We are going to be shooting our own show called Exploring the Unknown with Matt and Amanda, where we go research everything paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, hauntings, demons, you name it, lockdowns. We're going to be doing all that. We've already started, and if I ever get anything edited, we'll start getting those shows out to you guys as soon as possible. But I wanted to go into some of the questions that people ask me. Let's see. Are there truly any Bigfoot experts? Again, I think that's a yes and no question. I think, there is no person that you can say knows everything about Bigfoot. That would be considered an expert. If you can't just basically pick somebody up and tell them, okay, which forest do you want me to drop you off in, what spot, and then send them out and they're going to go find a Bigfoot. They're either capture one on video or get a clear picture of one, get some hair samples, get some footprints, and actually physically be able to kind of bring a Bigfoot back or something like that, something to that. I mean, there's really no experts. Now, that said, there's a lot of people like me. There's enthusiasts. There's experts in fields. So that's kind of like if you have footprints, you have footprints experts. You have footprint experts. You have vocalization experts. You have primate experts. You have hair sample experts. You have trackers. You have people that are really good with analyzing video and analyzing audio, and you have people that are really good with both You have people like me that I'm kind of like somewhere in that mix. Um, I don't know everything about the forest. I'm still learning as I go. I'm constantly learning. And as I meet with new people and hear their stories and get to, have them tell me different things and stuff like that. Sorry, my phone is now going crazy for some reason. Um, Anyways, so as we continue to research and meet new people and hear their stories and go out with different people, different hunters and different other Bigfoot researchers and stuff like that, we're kind of learning as we go. Um, we're learning that, oh, well, that's not a Bigfoot, that's a this, and that noise is that, and trees actually do grow in a loop shape. I mean, those bins that we keep talking about, where there's hundreds of loops in a forest, but trees will grow at an angle or grow over and then kind of go down towards the ground to get a better angle to get more sun. So this is something I'm constantly trying to learn. Um, we need people that are experts in different trees and that can tell us if a tree bend is a real thing or if it's just something that's natural. And I don't think every tree bend is natural, and I don't think that every tree bend is a Bigfoot. You've got footprints. You've got people that analyze footprints. I don't do that yet. I'm still learning that. I'm still having other people take a look at everything for me. You have people that will analyze video. You have people that will analyze audio and stuff like that. And I've heard a lot of crazy things. I've spent a lot of time in the forest. Amanda is still learning as well. She's never had a Bigfoot sighting. So to get to the point here, I don't really think there's a 100% Bigfoot expert, but I think there's a lot of experts in different fields. Like you have, to elaborate on that too, you have people that analyze Bigfoot videos, and they're really good at telling you whether that's CGI, is that fake, is that a hoax, could that be real? You have people that specialize in thermal imaging. You have people that specialize in audio that can break down the audio and tell you, if that's something natural or if that's something that isn't natural. Um, if it's something that could be possibly something unknown. You have primate, um, people that study primates, which is great because we don't know if Bigfoot is a primate, a humanoid, a mix between the two, or something completely different. Um, there's all these unanswered questions about Bigfoots, and that's why we're out here in the field doing it. We're basically a field researching team. We're out in the field, we're exploring, trying to come up with footprints, tree bends, hair samples. We just got a hair sample from a client the other day. Um, Collect vocalizations, get some video, and document these things and try and document their behaviors so that someone that has a little bit more knowledge than I and maybe in primates or human evolution or whatever can look through and research this themselves and maybe come back with some kind of answers as well. So there is no Bigfoot expert or any in anything. Ghost hunting, you name it. Demonology. There's, everybody claims to be an expert. They're not. There's people like me that have had a lot of experiences, and there's people that like I said, specialize in certain things, and they are experts in their field, but they're not experts at Bigfoot in general. So, anyways, like I said, Bigfoot have a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people that need to be involved with this studies to really come together and prove that this is a real thing. Um, Let me elaborate on that. If I could put a dream team together, I'd find somebody who's a primatologist, number one, that has expertise in primates, uh, maybe to study the videos that have been captured, the real videos that have been captured, to hear people's reports and try and take that and look at it and say, okay, this fits an ape, this fits a gorilla, this fits um, orangutan behaviors, or this might be something that they would do. And so we can kind of start to put that together with that. And then, you might have a footprint. Someone that studies footprints, Jeff Meldrum, you know, uh, to look at these, analyze these footprints and tell us what's real, what's not, what could be faked, what could be an accidental identification. Maybe like bears like to step in their own print, so they leave a footprint and then a footprint on where the toes start, so it looks like a longer footprint. Um, I would find somebody that could do analyze hair samples. I would find somebody that basically studied stool, poop, if you will, because those samples, even though they may not have great DNA, you can pull DNA out of it, and or at least look at the samples and try and find out what possibly created that, and then also what also essentially could have uh, basically what it could have been eating and stuff like that. So if we can say, okay, we know Bigfoots are eating berries, they're eating some kind of meat source or protein. They're also eating, maybe leaves or whatever. These types of fruits. Um, we can kind of start to take that and generalize an area where that stuff is, and then we can start to really narrow our focus down on that location. I'd also find somebody that is really good with navigation. And so we can kind of start to have them focus on those reports and really look at that terrain and say, okay, this is why they're in this area. Look, there's a river here, there's a lake here. This is a good area for deer and stuff like that. I would also have a professional hunter on the team, which we kind of do. We have several people that are hunters that assist us in different places. We have a lot of Deepwood's paranormal family members, if you will, in different areas throughout Texas and other states too that we work with. And we have other friends from other groups that we share data with, that help us kind of analyze our data and then analyze their data. And we look at it and we kind of, put our heads together to figure out why this happened, if you will, whether it's a sighting or a scream or whatever. And then, like I said, you have people that can analyze audio, analyze video, somebody that can actually sit there and study those. And then also somebody that could basically just take reports, be really good with taking calls from people. Because when people call or text or message us or whatever, uh, it's not easy for them to do that. It's really not. It's not easy for them to call and say, I saw this or I heard that, or I saw a Bigfoot. I know it was a Bigfoot. It couldn't be anything else. That's very difficult because a lot of people ridicule people out here. You have a lot of hunters and other people out here that are out. A lot of the people out here in Texas are outdoors people, and they spend a lot of time in the forest, and they spend a lot of time hiking and whatever in the forest, which is awesome. I love it. I love to meet those kind of people because they're full of information. So, but they're also very skeptical of Bigfoot, which is great. I mean, unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately for them, they've never seen one and they've never experienced one, which is awesome. I mean, they're not, Bigfoots are not everywhere. They're in certain geographical areas, excuse me, I misspoke. Um, so, and a lot of those areas are very remote. Some of them are not, but most of them are. Sometimes Bigfoot is closer than we think. So, anyway, so let me stop sharing my screen. Actually, what's going on here? So, I'm going to share my screen with you guys again. If you're listening, I'll try and do my best to describe everything as best I can. First of all, I want to again thank all of our new subscribers to everything. We have a lot of new subscribers to the podcast. We have a lot of new subscribers to our YouTube and Rumble page. We're always getting new friends requests and new followers on Facebook for our Facebook group and stuff like that. And then on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So thank you guys for subscribing and liking our stuff. It really helps us to get our content out there and share our research with everyone who's interested. So a lot of people, I've been meeting a lot of people lately. I mean, not lately, we've been meeting people all over for the last couple of years now, especially in Texas. And they always ask me, "Oh, I love your hat. Oh, I'm rocking the Deep Woods Paranormal Bigfoot T-shirt here. Where do you get that? Where do you get the apparel?" Well, it's on our website, so you can see we have all different hats. We have all different shirts. I'm not going to go into this too much, but our deepwoodsparanormal.com page is a nonstop shop for everything Deep Woods Paranormal. And by that, I mean our YouTube channel's here, our podcast is here, our store is here, public events, and I'll talk about public events in a second. I talked about this last time, but you can see all of our content is here. I'm going to try and start posting some shorts. I'm going to go through some evidence with you guys, and I'll start doing that separately, I think, from here on out, and not doing it on the podcast as much because people like the separate videos that are shorter, where I quickly, describe what happened and what we got and stuff like that. So the most recent one was the Black Star Black Star Canyon eye shine out in Orange County. And I showed you a video of something walking behind us. You can just see the eye shine. Whatever it was about 8 feet tall, and I could hear it walking back there, and I purposely put a camera facing back towards the back of the car. And we had my dad's SUV, so I put the camera in the back before we parked. And then as we parked, I popped the door open and had it recording as I was getting gear out. And sure enough, something comes walking up behind us, peering in to see what we're doing. So we caught a Bigfoot possibly being curious, and you can kind of see the eye shine. You can't see the rest of it. I wish I would have had the camera we had now with all the IR light that we have, because we could have clearly seen probably what it was. So we got that issue solved now. We've got IR flashlights, and we've got a camera that can see about 40, 50 feet in complete darkness pretty clearly. So it's not like, you're not gonna be able to see it, but that's for future. All right, so our YouTube here, podcast here. So if you aren't on one of our audio podcasts or you want to come watch the videos, this is our audio only podcast on here. So you can see we have, I think this is podcast, audio podcast or podcast in general, 167. So we're closing in on 200. And these podcasts will come out every Friday. So, anyways, you can see I just did the 2023 year podcast in review. We talked about a lot of places we went and stuff like that. So if you want to go back and listen to that, you can. And there's a lot of other podcasts here. And we're going to be interviewing a lot of people. Let me come here. This is my friend. Oh my gosh. Hey, Harley Owens. He is a fellow Bigfoot researcher. He has a Facebook group called Data Report and Data, and he's just a really fun guy to talk to. I've been working with him quite a bit lately regarding Bigfoot. I think he's in the Ozarks. So basically, he goes out to different places, and he's had a lot of luck finding Bigfoot activity. He may have gotten a lot of Bigfoots on camera, and we'll let you guys decide. But if you want to go check out his group, it's Bigfoot Report and Data, excuse me, on Facebook. So I want to give him a shout out. He's going to be coming on our podcast this weekend, and he'll be on the podcast next Friday. So that'll be for you guys. So, anyways, moving on. So y'all have seen our Bigfoot map. You can see it basically goes across the United States. Now, I don't know why, but when I zoom out, it takes all the pens off. I don't know why it does this. Maybe you're only allowed to have a certain amount. So let me fix the map here. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we'll just go back. We'll close this. All right. So for some reason, when you put in Bigfoot, it takes them all out. But you can see all the reports. This is not even close to being all of them. Uh, this is just the reports that I've been getting across the U.S. Lately, and there's been some up in Canada too. But essentially all down here as well, coming all the way down through British Columbia and into Alaska. Yeah, there we go. There's a pin for Alaska as well. So, yeah, I've been getting a lot of reports from people, not just here in Texas, but all across the United States. And then I also follow several other people from other states and that I find credible, and I pin their reports as well. California, I know. I used to have as many pins in California as I do in, oh, come on, phone. Um, Here in Texas, but unfortunately, when we moved, Google decided to wipe my pins off the map for some weird reason. So we're going to stay here focused in Texas, and we're going to talk about some places. Uh, like I said, I've talked about the Texas Triangle multiple times. You can't see it, but this is San Antonio down here. And then you get Houston over here. And then you've got Dallas and Fort Worth. So essentially, this is what I call the Texas Triangle. Now, this Texas Triangle should actually go out into Louisiana and come over to like New Orleans and come back across. But because we're only talking about Texas today, we're going to just keep it to San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston. Now, that does include all of East Texas as well. You can see how many pins are dropped over here. There's so many forests over here. This whole side of Texas is a good chunk of forest, excuse me. There's also a lot of reports. I live in the Brazos Valley, so I'm down here by College Station. There's a lot of reports of Bigfoots in this area, all along the Brazos River, if you will. Now, a lot of those reports are old, and we've been getting some new ones from people in our area recently. We're going to be meeting with them so soon. If you'd like to report a Bigfoot sighting, there's multiple ways you can contact us through, again, through our website. I come back here. You can come onto this contact us and just leave us a message. If you come to the home page, you can come down here and you can contact us just here. Just put your name. You don't have to put your last name, email, and just send us a message. Saw Bigfoot in the San Antonio at this location. If you want to remain anonymous, go for it. We don't need to tell everybody your name or anything like that, but I want to stay on here. So a lot of these reports are just coming in from people like crazy. So let's just start talking about different places we plan on investigating this year. We've been investigating the Sam Houston National Forest for the last 2 years. And what happens is when you start investigating a large area like this, let me zoom back into the Sam Houston National Forest because it's just such a huge area. There's an area here, there's an area here, and there's an area over here. So you got three big chunks of area, and you got clusters in each one. But unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people report a lot of their sightings over here in the Sam Houston National Forest. We do have a couple friends that live in the Sam Houston National Forest, and we are essentially working with them to try and um, you know locate these areas to investigate and to try and come in here. Unfortunately, the Sam Houston National Forest is one of those areas where people have investigated quite a bit. Let me show you the Sam Houston National Forest. Let me see if there's any actual pictures. Here's some pictures. You can see it's very woody. Here's a video, and you can see that it's just a very wooded area, very secluded. Some of it's really hard to get to. There's a lot of trails where you can bike, you can horseback ride, you can essentially bike on like a motorbike. Um, you can take, you can camp in here. There's a lot of campgrounds and stuff like that. And it's just a different, here's some of the trails. Lone Star Hiking Trail is very popular. And then you can camp here, and there's all kinds of different ponds and rivers and lakes and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different areas down here to explore. So you can see this is a huge bonfire somebody's doing. But yeah, I mean, you can walk through here forever. Here's somebody crossing a log. I don't want to stay too long in here, but yeah, we're going to be coming back to the Sam Houston National Forest and exploring this. Let me go back to here. we plan on actual staying in the Sam Houston National Forest as well. Let me go back to their website. There we go. So we'll be coming in here again. We've been doing this, and we're spending a lot of time here. Here's the Davy Crockett National Forest. Now this area does not have a lot of um, reports, which is strange. You think the Davy Crockett National Forest, being such a large area, would have a lot of reports, and there aren't many. Um, so, but we know there's Bigfoots in this area. We know we've actually met with several witnesses that have told us they've had, experiences in here. So you can see there's only like 4 or 5 pins in this area. I'd imagine this whole forest area is going to be really, really active. And you can see it's not very far from the Sam Houston National Forest. So I'd imagine the Sam Houston National Forest has several groups of Bigfoots, and then I imagine the Davy Crockett has several groups of Bigfoots. Now you can see how wooded this is. I would imagine that these two groups send probably um, males back and forth between the two groups. I would imagine they migrate between these two forests and essentially, mate with each other so that they don't get a bunch of, weird siblings, if you will. But yeah, this is definitely a place that we want to check out. If you've had an experience in the Davy Crockett National Forest, please come forward. Again, there's no judgment. We're not going to ridicule you. We're not going to make fun of you. We are very interested in serious reports. And if you've had a sighting, or you've heard a scream, or you've heard tree knocks, um, we don't have to meet with you in person. We just want to know where you had your experience. You can even just text us with a drop pin. People have done that. So yeah, Davy Crockett National Forest is another one we want to go. Let me move on to the next one because this is starting to get long. Long Angeles National Forest. Now, let's take a look at the Angeles National Forest. This is over here. So here's the Davy Crockett, here's the Sam Houston, and basically you get like a not quite a triangle, but you could honestly kind of go like this, like this, like this, and back. And there are a lot of reports over in the Angeles, in and around the Angeles National Forest. I think I talked to a guy that said he had an experience where he was launching his boat and a Bigfoot came walking out of the forest and looked at him and turned around and went right back in. So yeah, there's a lot of reports in the Angeles National Forest. Again, if you've had a sighting or anything over here and you want to report a an experience, feel free to contact us. Okay, so let's move on to this one. Los Angeles National Forest. There we go. So the Sabine National Forest. Um, you guys, I'll leave these links in the description of the video, either audio or video, and you guys can go look at these as well. So let's go up to the Sabine National Forest, which should be up here. Where are you? Sabine National Forest. So here's the Sabine National Forest. So this is over by where Joe used to live, and he had a lot of experiences over here. I mean, he lived, what do you live down in Shelbyville? He lived down by Shelbyville, I think. And so essentially, we were going to come over into this area of land and do Indian Mountains Wilderness area. And we were going to do some research over here. Joe took us all over the place and took us to places where he had heard about different types of Bigfoot reports. And we were in the process of meeting with different people. A lot of people are asking me about up here, public events, public Bigfoot events. And I kind of answered this last time. This is Joe's camp. We were going to set up some RV spots and places for people to camp on his property. And unfortunately, Joe has recently passed late last year. So we aren't able to do that anymore, unfortunately. But anyways, Yeah, so the Sabine National Forest, this is full of Bigfoots. I mean, Joe's camp. I mean, I don't know if they were living on his property, but they were definitely on his property a lot. And literally, they'd come down through the sides of his property. His property was like a football field. If you've seen Joe's camp or you've heard me talking about Joe's camp a million times, um, they used to come down the sides of his property and cross across the road into the national forest. But they'd also hunt on his property, and he had freshwater springs on his property. So it was a wealth of resources for them. And they would come down and basically, hang out. And then we had daytime sightings of them, multiple people. Everybody but Amanda, unfortunately, saw one. And then my friend Christy saw one cross the road. All right, guys, since this podcast is getting a little long, we're going to be doing part one and part two. Next Friday, we'll have Harley Owens on again, my friend who is also a Bigfoot researcher. He's up in the Ozark Mountains, so he'll be coming on next Friday. This other part two will probably release sometime next week, Monday or Tuesday, and so you guys can watch it there or listen there. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking the video, and we will catch you on the next one.